I know we're sweating. There was a lot of scrambling to get all that done. But Jimmy Butler, out for the season. Torn ACL. Sham, shout out, reporting it earlier this morning. He will, of course, miss the remainder of the season. He was averaging 20 a game so far. Warriors currently sitting 8th in the West, and he does have that, I hate seeing that, 26-27 season. $56 million on the books. I hate talking about that, but it is going to be a part of sort of everything moving forward with Jimmy Butler and trades. But I don't know if the window was even necessarily very open, but is it closed now?
Absolutely. I mean, I think this has technically been a disaster of a season for this Warriors group. Obviously, with the news of Jimmy going down last night, that's unfortunate news. Wish him the best. Wish him a speedy recovery. Also, very happy that he was able to secure his money, especially with him, being 36, 37 coming up. So I'm happy about that part. On top of that, they have development issues. They're struggling with this situation between Steve Kerr and Jonathan Kuminga. And the biggest thing is, you're wasting your franchise guy, top 5, top 10 player all time. You're wasting the rest of his season, this season and moving forward, because technically at this point the Warriors have no future. So this is a really bad situation with this Warriors organization and this group, and I don't really see any light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, it's not good. And first of all, like Boogie said, thinking about Jimmy Butler, I don't care, how long of a career he's had, how much money he's made. That's awful. And you never want to see someone go out, like that. But this is just a tough blow for the Warriors. Obviously, they make the big deal. They go and get a Jimmy Butler. He's guaranteed $56 million next year, and it's just it kind of just shines more light on the Kuminga situation to me, because they have a guy similar that they could have been playing minutes and not playing him, a 36-year-old guy, so many minutes. And when you have all this load management and all this science and analytics and stuff about that, and you're playing this guy a bunch of minutes when you have a clone of him and Jonathan Kuminga on the bench, kind of shines light to me that this could have possibly been avoided, but it's impossible to ever know. And it's just a tough break. Where they are right now, they're obviously fighting for a play-in spot. I don't think they're going to go up much higher than 8th right now. So, when you look at the teams behind them, Portland, they're going to play hard every single night. The Clippers, they're finding something. The Grizzlies, the Mavericks, they're all now all of a sudden thinking, okay, maybe we can pass this team and get into the play-in. So it's just a tough blow for a team that, really, really, really need this guy.
It just feels like yesterday the worst thing was the Kuminga situation, and then this happens. I know you got Steph and Draymond there, obviously, and Boogie touched on it a little bit as far as end of careers and how you want them to play out, Lou, but hard to imagine.
Yours.
Did you just...
What?
I'm sorry.
What were you saying? Why would you put mine there?
Why would you put his there? Y'all are weird. If
You just wreaked havoc.
We're gonna get to the idea of Steph Curry. This is gonna be a rebuild. It's very hard to imagine both Steph and Draymond just hanging out for a rebuild as their careers dwindle out. But is that what we're looking at?
Yeah. Listen. Anytime you got Steph Curry in uniform, you have an opportunity to compete at the highest level. I truly feel that, and I want to send prayers out to Jimmy, hopefully for a speedy recovery, especially at this juncture in his career, being 36 years old, looking at a year-long recovery coming up. Just a tough blow. You hate to see that happen. So hopefully he gets an opportunity to continue his career on. As far as the Warriors go, I think this puts their back to the wall. Now they have to make a move if they still want to put themselves in a position to be in the conversation, to be competitive and to contend for a title while you still have Draymond, while you still have Steph Curry. Obviously, the people that are going to be communicated about when it comes to that, it's probably going to be Draymond, and it's probably going to be Jonathan Kuminga, and that's obvious with him, demanding the trade. One of the glaring things that I saw last night in the blowout win, he was the only guy that didn't get an opportunity to play. Even the bench, even the third-string guys played 3 to 5 minutes. Yeah. He didn't even get that. So that's a telltale sign of something that's happening behind the scenes, that they don't want to risk losing that asset in him to being able to shop him around and put them in a position to continue on. And so, should they go in full rebuild mode? I think they have an opportunity now. Look, we probably weren't going to be in a championship conversation this year. Let's finish this one out. Let's see what happens. And we can go into the summer and look at what our options are. But I think at the deadline, they're absolutely going to be active in moving Jonathan Kuminga to see if they can speed that process up.
Yeah, the facts are, even with Jimmy Butler, they probably weren't a contender, right? But now you have to look at that situation, and he's owed $57 million next year. He's 36 years old. He's going to be 37. You don't know how he's going to bounce back from this. And then you have Jonathan Kuminga, and Steve Kerr and him have obviously a situation where there's no trust, there's no real relationship there. Is he going to go up to Jonathan Kuminga today in the practice facility and say, hey, man, sorry that we paid you and then we didn't play you and I've kind of been disrespecting you all season long. We need you now. And it's Jonathan Kuminga. I don't know if that's going to work, because if I'm Jonathan Kuminga and everything I hear, there's frustration there and it's built up, and I can't blame him for that. So now, like Lou just said, they're not a contender. They're not even probably a playoff team now, but how do you maximize that Steph Curry, closing window? And if it's Draymond with his salary, I don't know. What's the value of a Jimmy Butler coming off an ACL at 36 years old, owed $56 million? They do have some picks that they can play around with, and they have Jonathan Kuminga is really their only thing that they can move to kind of better this team and their future moving forward. Because Steve Kerr said they're a fading dynasty, and now they're fading even more after this.
And by the way, in a business that's not very loyal to their players, I want to see Steph and Draymond finish their careers as Golden State Warriors. They're four-time champions. They're Hall of Famers. Their numbers are going up in the rafters. Like, I understand what the business is, but I hope the Warriors look at this and say, we want to honor our guys and we want to do something that this league typically does not allow players to do, and that's finish where you start.
So then that means that my following question you're probably saying no to, that if you're Steph Curry, do you ask for, first of all, I can't even imagine it, but I'm going to ask it anyways.
Hell no.
Do you ask, so you don't ask for trade?
Hell no.
Boogie's.
I can't imagine him anywhere else.
I was about to say, I think we
thought
can look at this.
before, though.
As fans, I could see, everybody saying no.
I get
as a
no.
fan, as a fan of Steph, I want to see him, ride off in the sunset as a Warrior. I want him to finish his career there. But obviously, with Steph still having, time in his career to still go compete for more rings.
I don't think he's that type of guy, though, Boog. That's what I'm thinking. I don't, a lot of guys will go ring chase. I don't think that's Steph.
I'm not saying it's ring chasing. I'm just saying giving yourself an opportunity
if he's gonna have
to
an
compete at the highest level.
I think it's going to be in Golden State.
And by the way,
what? They have no assets.
The data with them and the offense and their wins and losses with Draymond, Steph, and Kuminga, the lineup of Draymond, Steph, and Kuminga isn't horrible.
Yeah, but
so now again, can Kuminga get over the Steve Kerr thing? By the way, his contract's also up. So is there a world where the Warriors
the
don't
question is,
bring
can Steve Kerr get over this Kuminga?
Well, they just showed you last night. He's not going to play.
Well, that's because Kuminga basically
even in a blowout, he still didn't play. In a blowout, what every single person in uniform got an opportunity to compete except Jonathan Kuminga. He's not going to play for the Golden State.
Well, he's not going to play now till the trade deadline at least.
Yeah, but my point to Boogie about Steph Curry, yes, I would love to see him compete for a championship again, but his personality, his pedigree, and what he's done for the Bay Area, I absolutely don't see him asking out or them even thinking about moving.
What if he does it
from,
let's say this,
from how he carries himself?
He doesn't ask out necessarily. However, he does have a conversation with them and says, look, I understand where we are as an organization. I also know that my career is winding down. I'm just letting you know that I am open to hearing if the most perfect situation presents.
That's 37 years old, right?
Yeah.
He'll ride off in the sunset before I see that.
Yeah, I can't see. And also, I don't know, this is going to sound crazy, I don't know what the Warriors even get back for a 37-year-old Steph Curry right now to better that franchise. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Bob Myers is brilliant.
Hold on, slow down. Word that different, because let me make sure I heard it right.
I'm just saying, right now, you can obviously get something back, but I think it's the young guys that I think they're going to have to get a lot of stuff back. I'm sure Steph Curry for the next couple of years, maybe some picks or
is a starter.
An expiring contract. No, I get it. And he's great.
I think
he's Steph Curry.
37 teams are willing to blow their team up to acquire.
For what? For 2 more seasons?
I heard you right.
You think Steph is playing 2 more seasons?
Curry,
No, I don't know how many more seasons he's playing. I'm just saying.
At minimum 5.
This is the situation that they're in right now.
We're in the sports entertainment business as well.
So their best asset is this 37-year-old Steph Curry. That's what I'm saying. That is not a good sign for an organization.
I don't think he's an.
But it's not a normal 37-year-old.
Like I said,
he's not going anywhere. First of all,
they will build around him before they look to move him. That's how Jimmy Butler even got there. They're going to bring in pieces that they feel like can put them in a position to be competitive where they stand opposed to him going out. I don't see any scenario where Steph Curry moves out.
But
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
But all of that is easier said than done right now. Like, they're in a situation now. They do have those 2 picks. Cool. But you also have your youngest and best asset, you literally kill his value.
Devalued.
You self-sabotage that. Your next asset in Jimmy Butler is now damaged.
57
so you
million.
can't really get the maximum out of that asset. So how do you move forward and build around Steph?
The chat has some input. And by the way, chat, shame on you for making me say this out loud, but I'm going to do it anyways. What about Anthony Davis, Kuminga, like some sort of package trade there? I can't.
It's going to have to be some sort of package. It's going to have to be some picks involved, which, by the way, they might not even keep. They might then go and package those picks and bring on something else. But
they're going to rebuild.
When you look at the state of this team, yeah, it's not better this team now to be a championship. They don't have enough to do that. Like
at best, were they not just going to be disruptors anyways, not contenders?
Yeah, when you tell me when I line up in the playoffs and I see Draymond and Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry, that's scary. Like that's this now current situation with their budding star that's been getting disrespected all season long. He's checked out. Jimmy Butler now is going to be making $56 million, $57 million at 37 years old off a torn ACL. He's gone. Steph Curry, Draymond, another year older next year. Like, it's not a good situation. Podziemski, they got him. Maybe Wait, you're not rolling?
Steve's favorite.
Start shopping him because I don't know what else they can do.
You had a trade scenario this morning.
Though again, that would be a big trade.
Why don't you throw it out there? Throw the chum in the water and let's see what happens.
How do we feel about a Jimmy Butler, Kuminga, and 2 picks that are going to be really good to the Lakers for a LeBron James, a Rui situation?
Why are you winding down the voice at the end of that? Like, just
I'm just throwing it out there. It's going to have to be something like that where it's...
I don't see the Lakers doing that.
Okay, so you say Lakers say no.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, we talking about a guy that's 42 years old and still considered one of the faces of the league. He brings so much value to any organization that he's with. You just don't let that go for 2 picks.
But you have to look at your future if you're the Lakers also.
I mean, all that's said and done. But, I mean, like Lou keeps saying, this is entertainment business. The money is important. Like that's
but you have Luka now that carry the entertainment.
I just think also
so if you can have Luka and LeBron.
You have Luka and LeBron.
Yeah, and I think they'd rather stick with that than trading for 2 picks.
Also, whoever makes this trade for Kuminga has to believe and want in Kuminga and pay him again because he's about to be up in the following season again. So that's got to be his home, whoever does that. You're not doing it for, Jimmy Butler, an expiring contract at 37 years old. You are doing it for those picks, possibly, and you're doing it for that you believe in Jonathan Kuminga.
My experience is competing against the Warriors. They're a Class A, Grade A organization. They're the one organization that shows a certain level of loyalty to their guys. I just don't see a lot of this movement happening. I just don't.
You said they show loyalty?
From my experience.
Yeah,
you have a different... Hold on. You have a different point of view than I do. Competing against them, you've been in uniform for them. We have different perspectives.
I think they're a great organization. I think Joe did. I take that back. Let me correct that statement. When Bob Myers was at the head of the ramp, they were a great organization. I can't speak on them right now.
And I was out of the game.
I will be saying, I know Mike Dunleavy. He's awesome. He took a tough job, man. He had some decisions to make, and he's got even more decisions to make.
You took a tough job.
Think about Curry.
That's a tough job.
Yes, right now they have Steph Curry's at a tough job.
I know that's your man, and that's cool. But
he had to make a decision on Jordan Poole. He had to make a decision on Klay Thompson. He had to make a decision on paying Draymond Green.
And they were all wrong.
Yeah, the Jordan Poole thing, I don't know.
Jordan Poole is not wrong.
You traded a young asset.
Jordan Poole and Draymond Green were never going to play. Draymond Green and Jordan Poole were never going to play again.
Yeah, well, why did you pick that side you picked?
Come on, man.
Why did you pick that side?
I should spill my tea every morning. I like the energy. I should spill my
I thought you were going to actually spill tea.
I smell like lavender. I'm sticky. It's hot as shit in here.
Okay. So...
Hold on, answer me this. Is Steve Kerr is he the coach of the Warriors next year?
They better not.
Okay, but you just said they're loyal. So,
yeah,
aren't they going to give him the decision?
He's also a free agent.
He's also the common denominator in every issue they have going on with this Warriors organization. So I don't see why.
Is there also a world where they say, okay, look, Kuminga, finish this year out. We're not going to move you. Steve Kerr's not going to be back next year, and it is you and Steph and Draymond. We're going to run it back. Is that a possibility?
So there's no...
I don't hate it.
Here's the thing.
I don't hate it.
Everything that we're saying up here is now the window is closed, which brings me back to I don't want to watch Steph Curry's final 2 seasons, whatever they might be in this league, just be like, oh, cool, we're going to go watch Steph warm up for games and watch him lose games for the next 2 years. Like, I don't want that. And I don't know that he necessarily would ever ask for a trade either, but wouldn't it be more fun if he was on a relevant team
100%.
to end things?
And he's not right now, and in the
At
way
all.
it looks and the way that their team is built, he's not going to be next year if he's on the Warriors.
I know, it's kind of a bummer. Well, it would have been a fun way to start the show. But the good news